Hello, good evening. You're watching us live from the Gambia Radio and Television Services, and this is the news coming to you straight from Banjul, also coming up. Prioritizing healthcare delivery, joint local charities provide free eye care screening services to the public in Farato. Remembering fallen colleagues, Amite High School class of 1975 pays homage
and selfless devotion of a group of young people from different
Fortune Football Club lost 2-0 to Brigham United in GFF. British police arrested 26 people after weekend clashes between police and protesters rallying against plans by a far-right group to burn copies of the Holy Quran. And elsewhere, Israel's fractious governing coalition faces a new split on Sunday when Arab Israeli party RAM suspended its membership after violence around a flashpoint in Jerusalem's holy site that wounded 170 people over the weekend. Well, these are many of the stories coming ahead in the next 40 minutes. I am Fatu Janimbai. Well, many thanks for joining us on the GRTS News with healthcare delivery services, because a local charity called Gumam Eye Care Association in partnership with Ahlul Bayt Center recently held a day's free care eye screening services to the public. The event, which attracted dozens of patients in the West Coast community of Farato, was attended by the Minister of Information, Communication and Infrastructure, Ibrahim Silla. Khadija Juwara tells us more.
Free eye screening services brought together hundreds of patients to benefit from the gesture. Speaking to GRTS, the Minister of Information and Communication Infrastructure, Ibrahim Silla, described the free medical initiative as a big effort by the two associations, saying it is complementing government healthcare services.
As a government, we deeply appreciate the gesture by the Ahlul Bayt Foundation, which is a foundation of the sheriffs in the Gambia, and also GUIMAM, which is an association of people composed of health workers that deal with eye issues. We are extremely very grateful that they are giving free screening to a large section of population in the country. Right now we have hundreds of people lined here. I've been invited to deliver a keynote speech here, and what I have seen, I can say that is deeply appreciated. It's a very big effort on behalf of the two organizations that came together to organize this very important event.
The Public Relations Officer GUIMAM Association, Sunkari Baji, said it is part of his association's mandate in rendering free services to the public.
Like a GUIMAM association, GUIMAM Eye Care, so to be supporting people the whole throughout the Gambia, from Banjul to Koina, Koina to Karton, so to give them render service without any payment.
Mr. Baji, however, promised of his association's continuous support in promoting humanity, particularly the poor and underprivileged. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Khadija Tuduara. The free eye screening services.
And now, Amite High School, class of 1975, has paid homage and support to families of their late classmates. According to members, the annual visit and support to the families of their fallen colleagues are extended during the holy month of Ramadan. Aminata Sanyang picks up the rest of that story.
Armitage 75 is a byword for 52 years of enduring legacy of love, care and selfless devotion of a group of young people from different corners of the Gambia who were together in 1970 at Armitage High School pursuing higher education.
All the members of this group attended Armitage High School from 1970 to 1975 when we passed away. Since then, we've been together, and because we were so close when we were in school at Amite, we virtually from the same class.
Upon completion of their education in 1975, this group's friendship continued to grow in strength and have now become one big family. Sunday, 17th April 2022, under the leadership of the life chairman Alhaji Suntubaji, annually during the month of Ramadan, Armitage 75 calls on to the families of their departed friends, assuring them their support and continued prayers for their fallen schoolmates.
A special day during Ramadan to go and visit the families of those of our brothers who have passed away. Unfortunately, these people were with us yesterday, and we want to remember them and pray for them. So for that reason, we go out to meet the families in their homes. We pray together with them for our loved ones. This is an event that is done annually, and we hope with Allah's help, we will continue to do that for each other.
Mrs. Matinjai Senghor, wife of late Kaliba Senghor of blessed memory, expressed gratitude to the group.
Just want to thank and appreciate Amite class of 75 for their outstanding support to the families of all their classmates. Since the demise of Mr. Senghor, they have been coming here every Ramadan to bring their gesture, just to support the family. So on that note, I just want to thank them and say, continue, because we will all, one day or the other, will all pass away. But the class of Amite 75, the way they manage their affairs and the way they support each other is remarkable.
Aminata Sanyang, GRTS.
Well, still on sharing and caring, where the Darussalam Foundation presented food items to Muslims within the West Coast region. The donation, which took place at the school premises of Sheikh Kebo Cham, who doubles as the president of the foundation, is aimed at reducing challenges faced by the less privileged during the holy month of Ramadan. Famara Baji tells us more.
This donation is another move by the Darussalam Foundation to support Muslims in the time of need. Sheikh Musa Jallo, an Islamic scholar, said, sharing is a way of following the commands of Allah.
Momo ka fengo feng bondi ikadi tamolu mako yala alonko ibe Allah tabaraka wa taala la yamaru ibe wala balundika.
Sheikh Kebo Cham, the president of the foundation, said, being beneficial to people. The scholars encourage people to nurture a culture of sharing. Sharing is not easy for everyone. When you share with someone, it makes their life easy. They can worship with peace of mind.
يوم القيامة تلو بكندنا.
Some people will not feel the heat of the sun on the day of resurrection because of the charities they give. Let's endeavor to give charity, especially during this period. The foundation presented these food items to 60 Muslims, with each receiving rice, among other valuables. Beneficiaries commended the Darussalam Foundation for supporting them during this holy month of Ramadan. Farmer Abad, GRTS News.
And now, scores of worshippers recently converged for the formal opening of the Imam Muhammadu Mukhtar Lee Mosque in Lamen. The event was also attended by Chief Justice Hassan Abubakar Jallo, an eminent scholar from the Gambia and beyond. Babakar Senghor tells us more.
After 15 years of construction work, backed by the efforts and resources of donors, the Muhammadu Mukhtar Lee Mosque finally opened its doors to worshippers with a symbolic opening ceremony. The first Friday prayers at the mosque attracted worshippers from Lamen and beyond, among them eminent Islamic scholars and imams. With neatly placed ceramics and chandeliers, the new mosque, built by Imam Babali and named in honor of his late father, Muhammadu Mukhtar Lee, is expected to serve the community, particularly those living in this close-knit settlement. Imam Lee returned gratitude to the community, the many worshippers who converged for the formal opening of the mosque. The veteran Imam also highlighted the role played by some eminent Gambians who helped finance the construction of the mosque. For the Imam of Lamen, Alhaji Suleiman Bojang, this new addition of a mosque is a welcome development for the community and Muslims in the area and beyond. The congregation, led by the Imam, later prayed Juma prayers at the mosque, marking the formal opening of the Imam Muhammadu Mukhtar Lee Mosque in Lamen. For GRTS News, this is Babakar Senghor.
And now we look at the Gambia's 6th legislature, which came into effect last week after the newly elected and nominated parliamentarians took the oath of allegiance, promising to be fair in the execution of their functions. The new National Assembly members also commended the electorate within their constituencies and assured them of working in the best interest of the nation. Well, our Farmer Abaji caught up with some of them during the swearing-in and inaugural ceremony, and this is what they had to say. Take a listen.
I'm very touched and I'm very honored to receive this nomination from my friend, a best friend of me, a brother, a confidant, which is His Excellency, President Adam Barrow. I want to thank him for giving me the privilege to serve my country. I've been battling with the struggle of serving my country for the past 26 years. I am a female candidate, a female nominee, and I want to see the gender prevail. I will thank President Barrow for giving us our own ministry, which is Minister of Women's Affairs and Children. We would like to see that we have a fundamental rights in this country, whereby every woman will see herself in it. We don't want to bang on women just to be at the forefront of the politics. When the politicians would like to use us to get the popularity or to get to the office, at the end of the day, we have no voice. And I would like Gambian men also, the male candidates, let them give chance of women. Under the leadership of President Adam Barrow, we will deliver. Because he's a visionary leader and he has the stamina to develop this country. As long as he has a strong pillars, I think when we give him a chance, it will go. This coming 5 years, he have the full mandate again from the Gambian people. At least we have the majority in the parliament. We think we can deliver. Any other member in the parliament, we don't want to see partisan in this National Assembly. We want to see the genuineness of the National Assembly members. We want to see the genuineness of the Gambians to see that Gambia belongs to Gambians. The decision makers are the Gambians, and they put them there for them to serve them. We want to see that they deliver. They have to leave partisan outside the building. In the building, we have a Gambia.
Indeed, a dream come true. To hold the executive arm of this government accountable whatever they do. That's a dream come true for me. What I have to my support is to assure them, is to give them that assurance, is to reinforce that assurance that I will live up to expectation, inshallah.
It's about creating jobs for the youth and empowering women through their gardening and farmers also. And then a lot of education, even at the schools, because you look at the education system at the moment, almost everything is fading out. So a lot of things, even security-wise. I have to thank those who elected me and even those who did not elect me, because it's all about having trust in me. So those who did not elect me don't mean that they hate me, because it's 7 of us. And then out of the 7, you have to choose one. So not choosing me does not mean they hate me. So I have to thank them. Also, those who elected me, they have confidence in me and they don't know me. So, and I think I'll make sure that I'll promise to commit myself to deliver to their expectations.
Parliamentarians there speaking to GRTS's Farmer Baji shortly after taking the oath of allegiance. Well, congratulations to all the members. Well, time now to take our first break. When we return, we'll take a look at some sports. To stay with us.
My dear, how come you are constantly on your phone texting? You must have lots of credit.
Credit. All I need is $5. With the after-sale SMS Express service, you can send 250 SMSs for $5 only. All you need to do is send SUB to 7050 for $5 only, and you can benefit from 250 SMSs valid for 7 days and enjoy texting.
Where AfriCell goes, nobody dares to follow.
Double the data, double the fun. Only on AfriMoney.
Buzz Bundle. Enjoy the Buzz Bundle on AfriMoney. Dial *777# and double your data for as low as $10 and get 80 megabytes. And also receive 3 gigabytes of data for only $150. There's more. Just dial *777# to find out.
All bundles are valid for 7 days. To cash in, visit our nearest AfriMoney agent.
AfriMoney. Send money anywhere, anytime.
Welcome back to GRTS News. And in sports, the defending champions Fortune Football Club continues to struggle in the First Division League of Gambia Football Federation with inconsistent performance as they lost 2-0 to Brikama United in week 15 of the league. Hofamar Baji witnessed the night kickoff at the Independence Stadium in Bakau, and now he brings us up to date.
Fortune has not been fortunate yet this season, as they only secured 18 points after 15 games in the first round of the league. A completely dissimilar campaign from last season, the defending champions are yet to find a rhythm that saw them won the league remarkably in 2021. In this week 15 fixture against Brikama United, there was little in the way of excitement as the two sides played a boring football full of stoppage and misplaced passes. From the break, Fortune tried to inject life into the game when Ibrahima Sohna headed home from Ibusanyan's cross. But the goal was ruled offside. Fortune then led a temporary siege within the goal area of Brikama United, but all their threats were thwarted by Brikama United custodian. Having survived those scars, Brikama United hit on a counter-attack and Ibrahima Sori Bangura wins a penalty for them from this challenge. The tall lanky forward converted the spot kick himself to put Brikama in front. Fortune tried to stage a comeback, but they fall behind again as Habibu Mendy doubled the Brikama United lead with this free kick in stoppage time to earn Coach Modlamin Nyasi's side a 2-0 victory.
In the first half, we read how Fortune are playing. I know they won't allow us to play. They put on high pressing, which is very difficult for our midfield to initiate attacks and then create spaces. So that's what we discussed in the second half. I told them you have to keep the ball and then you play 1-2, and then you try to move out. They are champions, even though they are having struggling in the league, but definitely they have a side. So we have to respect them with that, and then. We know very well that we're going to play a tough game, but thank God that we collected the maximum point, and that's the idea anyway.
From the final whistle, Fortune's coach Jane Juve walked straight to the tunnel and failed to attend the press conference. These are trying moments for the defending champions. Farmer Abaji, GRTS News.
And from sports, we will take a quick break. When we return, we'll take at what else is making headline news around the world. To stay with us.
Welcome back to the news. And series of powerful Russian strikes in the western Ukrainian city of Lviv on Monday killed at least 7 people, including a child, and 11 people with injuries, according to the regional governor. The head of a medical emergency center, Viktor Zabasta, told the Interfax Ukraine news agency that another strike on a humanitarian aid distribution point killed 1 person and injured 6 more. France 24 has more in this report.
The city is under constant bombardment but hasn't yet fallen. Almost all of Mariupol is controlled by Russian troops and pro-Russian separatists. A battalion of Ukrainian soldiers is holding out in the industrial steel district, entrenched and surrounded by enemy forces who say they're preparing for the final battle.
We are preparing for the ground offensive. First, we fire artillery before sending in the troops.
The steelworks factory is a vast complex, a maze of buildings and underground passages. So far unable to access the site, Russian troops are just outside it. The Ukrainian soldiers who remain here were given an ultimatum to lay down their arms by midday on Sunday or be killed. But the government says they're determined to fight on.
No, city still is not fallen. There is still our military forces, our soldiers, so they will fight till the end.
If the southern city is captured, Russian forces there are expected to join an all-out offensive for control of the eastern industrial Donbass region.
Russian forces are destroying Mariupol. They want to wipe it off the face of the earth, as well as other cities in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. We are doing everything to ensure its defense.
Capturing the strategic city would deprive Ukraine of a major port and provide Moscow with a much-needed symbolic victory, as well as giving it a swathe of territory linking Crimea, seized in 2014, with regions held by pro-Russian separatists further east.
And elsewhere, Swedish police arrested 26 people after weekend clashes between police and protesters, rallying against plans by a far-right group to burn copies of the Holy Quran, police said on Monday. 8 people were arrested in the city of Norrköping and 18 people were detained in the neighboring city of King of Linköping, police said in a statement. France 24 again.
Rocks and burning debris. Protesters clashed with police in Norrköping in eastern Sweden. The flashpoint, plans by a far-right anti-immigrant group to burn copies of the Quran. Police say several people were injured after warning shots were fired, none seriously. Sunday's violence followed days of unrest in several Swedish cities over the actions of Danish far-right politician Rasmus Paludan. He leads Stram Kurs, or the Hardline movement, and is known for burning copies of the Quran, Islam's most sacred text. On Friday, in an immigrant neighborhood in Stockholm, Paludan set a copy of the holy book on fire during a rally. He intends to run in Sweden's legislative elections in September if he gathers enough signatures, and says he's currently on a tour of the country. Apart from Stockholm, violent clashes have been reported in at least 5 other cities, including Malmö, where protesters burned several vehicles. Over the past several days, more than a dozen people have been arrested during the unrest. It's not the first time protests against the actions of the hardline movement in Paludan have turned violent. In 2020, demonstrators damaged storefronts in Malmö and set cars alight. Paludan, who has been convicted of racist insults, has also tried to plan similar Quran burnings in other European countries, including France and Belgium.
And elsewhere, Israel's fractious governing coalition faced a new split on Sunday when Arab-Israeli party RAM suspended its membership after violence around a flashpoint Jerusalem holy site that wounded 170 people over the weekend. The government, an ideologically desperate mix of left-wing, hardline Jewish nationalist and religious parties, as well as RAM, had already lost its razor-thin majority this month when a religious Jewish member quit in a dispute over leavened bread distribution at hospitals. France 24 has the rest.
This footage from Israeli security forces shows fireworks tossed from inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque. More fireworks were thrown at police from the old city's alleyways. The latest round of clashes between Palestinians and Israeli security forces was triggered when riot police entered the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound to secure it for Jewish visitors. The holy site is important to both religions, and this year, Ramadan, Easter, and Passover are all occurring at the same time, adding to the tensions.
We were forced out of the mosque after the dawn prayer. Then Jewish settlers started to enter. After we saw two groups of them, we started to chant and the Israeli forces tried to detain me.
While non-Muslims are allowed to visit the site, praying there is off limits, and any attempt to do so is considered a provocation. More than a dozen Palestinians were injured in the clashes, and several arrests were made. The unrest follows several scenes of violence at the same holy site on Friday, in which more than 100 people were hurt, and comes after weeks of mounting tensions. Since the end of March, there have been several deadly attacks in Israel carried out by Palestinians. In return, Israeli forces have mounted extensive raids in the West Bank, resulting in mass arrests and the deaths of several Palestinians. The recent surge in violence has left the country on edge as worries grow that this could escalate into a wider conflict.
Well, from that report by France 24, we'll take a quick look at our top stories once again before we end this bulletin of the news. Prioritizing healthcare delivery, joint local charities have provided free eye screening services to the public in Farator in the West Coast region. Remembering fallen colleagues, Amite High School class of 1975 has paid homage and support to families of the late classmates. And in sports, Fortune Football Club has lost a 2-0 to Brikama United in GFF's First Division League with inconsistent performance. And in the international, Swedish police have arrested 26 people after weekend clashes between police and protesters rallying against plans by a far-right group to burn copies of the Holy Quran. And elsewhere, Israel's fractious governing coalition has faced a new split on Sunday when Arab-Israeli party RAM suspended its membership after violence around a flashpoint, Jerusalem's holy site, that wounded 170 people over the weekend. Well, that's it from me, Fatu Janibai, from the entire news team. I'll see you again at 2200 hours for more news. Until then, many thanks for joining us.